Open up a tab, grab a seat, and pour a pint. It's time for the Beer Guys Radio Show.
You want free beer? Go to the brewery.
Dedicated to the art, science, and enjoyment of craft beer.
Yeah, what's wrong with the beer we got?
Now, here are your hosts, Tim Dennis and Aaron Williams.
And welcome to Beer Guys Radio. We are radio for the local craft beer movement, broadcasting live from TinyPalooza. We're at the Lincoln Fill Station in Snellville, Georgia, and I'm Aaron Williams.
And I'm Brian Hewitt. Tim and Becky Smalls are on an important scientific mission to determine how magnets work.
Magnets, how do they work?
I don't know. I hope they can find out.
I want a full report when they get back.
So we do have Beer Dad Jim Williams here with us, though, and
Yes.
We are at TinyPalooza for the third annual festival at Lincoln Fill Station. As you said, we'll be talking to Tiny McLennan, who is the Tiny in TinyPalooza, and we'll
Yes.
also talk to the guys from Dry County Brewing and maybe snag a few more people along the way.
I know it's going to be there's quite a crowd around us actually today, so it's pretty exciting.
A big crowd.
Always
yes.
good stuff. Want to give a shout out again to my dad, Jim Williams, who actually helped set us up. So he came in here early, set up the tent and the table and all that kind of stuff. So
He's a gentleman and a scholar.
he is definitely that, and he likes free beer, so it's always good. And also want to give a shout out to Renegade Chef, which is the street food folks here at TinyPalooza. They let us borrow their power.
Oh, yeah.
That's
kind of
slightly important.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So, you know what? I mean, this is the season. You know, Brian, it's festival season. Stuff is happening. We've got just about 6 gajillion different type of festivals going on across the state of Georgia and across the country. So, what have you been doing? What have you been drinking on so far this week?
So, so far this week, I've managed to squeeze in a few interesting beers. I had some of that Tears of My Enemies. I don't know if you heard about that.
I did. Yeah. I'm familiar.
I found it to be pretty
Okay,
good, pretty solid stuff. I also did little traipsing around the Red Brick stuff, the Soul of the City and Homestand. I did drink a Dry County Neon.
Who are those
the
guys?
Other night. Yeah, I have no idea.
I have no idea. Okay.
Are they from around here? I'm not sure.
No, I don't think so. Maybe.
And
no, that's not them. Okay.
And I did squeeze in a Creature Comforts Lupulus.
Excellent.
Which
Now,
was quite nice.
Yes, and now of course they've got Creature Comforts Lupulus on tap here, which I just had before you arrived. So it's always fantastic.
I saw that and I was excited when I was looking at that the other night. Drinking it and looking at it, I'm like, I'm going to get some more of that.
Yes, and I had a Dry County Oasis, which I'm not going to spell out. It's OASIS. And again, it's not safe for work, so I'm not going to say anything more about that. But it's a great imperial stout that they make.
Cherry Street, not Dry County.
It's not Cherry Street. That's right, Cherry Street, Dry County. Sorry.
Yeah.
See,
Cherry
I've got
Street.
Dry County in front of me, and I'm talking about Cherry Street. I'm just confused the whole time. And then also, of course, I'm drinking on Juice Willis from Wrecking Bar.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice one. Very nice.
Definitely.
And a great name for a beer, too.
No, exactly. What you talking about, Juice Willis? So we're going to kind of do a little bit of a craziness here in this first segment. We usually talk about Truck and Tap's Beer of the Week, but really, again, we're here at TinyPalooza. There's about 6,000 different beers here on tap.
At least.
So, and we'll talk to Tiny a little bit more about his festival here in Snellville, Georgia. So we're going to go ahead and skip Truck and Tap's Beer of the Week and go right to the headlines.
What's in the news? The Beer Guys have the scoop.
Extra, read all about it.
Time for headlines.
All right, Brian, what are the headlines for today?
So I've got a fun one for you. Scientists have reportedly eliminated the need for hops in beer. That's including IPAs. So
Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly my response when I saw that. I'm like, why on earth would you bother doing that? Well, it's for sustainability considerations. Basically, hops take a lot of water, and they can be very expensive to grow. And there's also shortages. There are frequent shortages with hops. So the idea is, how can we come up with a way of getting the flavor that we want without using these very expensive, sometimes hard to come by, plants?
Hops are delicious, though.
Yes. And you know how they did it? Now, we get really sciencey here. UC Berkeley used DNA editing software to manipulate the genome of yeast, splicing in genes from mint and basil plants, as well as some other interesting yeast varieties.
Okay. Now, we've got Steve Anderson here from Dry County. Would you use some of the non-hoppy hops in some of your beers?
Yeah, it's a hard question. I'm not really sure we're willing to go that far.
I put you on the spot there for a second. So
I was going to ask.
I mean, it's an interesting thing, yeast that can produce bitterness and stuff like that. And that's unfortunately only a very small contribution from what hops are giving. You're not going to get a well-rounded hoppy beer just from using a yeast that can create some bitterness.
Maybe our grandkids will be drinking the hopless hoppy IPAs, but I'm sticking to my old school hops because I'm
I agree.
Yeah.
My money's on the hops.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't see it. I don't see it happening. There's also the preservative aspect of the hops, which is a kind of a big deal, and the reported health benefits from the antioxidants. So those are reasons to continue going natural with that stuff.
I've yet to eat one of those fancy hamburgers that didn't actually come from a cow. So.
Exactly.
Neither have I. Are you looking for a shortcut to start a brewery?
Absolutely.
I have a deal for you. There is a second brewery option coming. That's right. Green Flash's Virginia Beach, Virginia brewery is going under the gavel. I just saw that just
posted
a minute
here,
ago.
When we were typing the show. So
the 50-barrel brewery is only a year old. The equipment includes everything you need except like beer, grain, and staff to run the place. You got the fermenters, the bottling line, the tasting room, the works. And apparently the facility is like state-of-the-art.
And it's funny because you almost want to think of Green Flash as like cautionary tale to modern craft beer because, of course, they're founded in San Diego. They really expanded to all 50 states. Just recently, of course, they announced cutbacks, so where they're cutting back almost all of those states. And they opened up a Virginia brewery, and now, of course, that's going to be onto the chopping block, too. It's almost, like I said, a cautionary tale of growing too fast across the country with so many local and regional options that are cropping up.
Absolutely, and they've spent so much money on this. This is actually, this brewery is the reason why they had so much trouble. The interesting thing, they are still moving forward with opening a brew pub in Lincoln, Nebraska, though.
Okay.
At the same time, so they're auctioning off one brewery and opening up another.
Well, there you go.
That was part of their strategy. They're going into lesser established markets and opening small brew pubs to capture the local thing instead of trying to go big.
I gotcha.
So in happier news, it's festival season, but I think it's also award season. There are awards being given out all over the place. So we've got Hopsticks, From the Earth, and Wrecking Bar earning spots in the top 5 of USA Today's 10 best brew pubs. So there were 20 that were nominated by a panel of experts, and they were voted by the visitors to the USA Today website. And Georgia kind of dominated the list. We have Wrecking Bar at number 5, From the Earth at number 3, and Hopsticks at number 2. That's pretty impressive.
Nothing wrong with that. And all three of those are phenomenal brew pubs, too. So good for them.
And that's not all. From a similar thing for the best beer label, a number of Georgia breweries won awards for their brew labels, beer labels. So we've got Monday Night Space Lettuce winning the top spot, the number 1 spot for that. We got Second Self's Manic Pixie Dream Beer number 1, taking number 2.
Yes.
And at number 3, we got Terrapin's Wake and Bake. And at number 8, we have Creature Comforts Tropicalissima. That's pretty impressive. These are beers from all over the country. Yeah. And we take up 4 of the 10 spots.
Of the top 10, exactly. Yeah. So, just again, for total transparency purposes, my real job is actually at Monday Night Brewing. So I'm happy to hear that myself. But again, congratulations to all the winners. Some really great beer labels and some really great liquid inside of those cans, too, which I think may be more important.
Absolutely. One more award, actually. We've got Back 40 in Gadsden, Alabama, winning the 2018 Governor's Trade Excellence Award. This was awarded in a ceremony by the governor of Alabama, Kay Ivey, at the state capitol. And it basically awards her success in selling beer to customers worldwide, not just in the U.S.
Okay.
So I didn't realize this, but in addition to distributing to 5 states, they also sold beer in 4 countries in the past year. Canada, China, Malaysia, and the Netherlands. So an interesting eclectic range of countries.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that Back 40 there from Gadsden, Alabama would be in so many countries, but good for them.
Yeah,
that's great.
Southeast Asia and everything. Yeah, craziness. This is some good news. Eater Atlanta tells us cold beer is coming to the Beltline. And
thank goodness, because I've been drinking that warm beer on the Beltline.
I know.
That's
it gets really warm, especially when it's sunny out.
Exactly.
So in this case, cold beer is actually the name of a cocktail bar and beer garden. So it'll be located in the old 4th Ward retail development between Edgewood and DeKalb Avenues, and it's coming from Vantage Realty. It will be the creation of Kevin Gillespie, who is known for his popular dim sum joint Gun Show.
Oh, yeah.
So it'll be a 7,000 square foot space, and the most interesting thing possibly is 3 Beltline facing patios, so a lot of outdoor space.
And that's great. For folks who don't live in the Atlanta metro area, the Beltline is kind of one of our urban developments, a trail basically surrounding the entire city eventually.
Yes.
And some really cool concepts that are coming up in that area.
A lot of foot traffic. It's really going to be a boon for those places.
Definitely. Well, good deal. It's time for us to take a quick break right now. You're listening to the Beer Guys Radio Show. BeerGuysRadio.com is our website. We're here live at TinyPalooza at Lincoln Fill Station. Coming up next, we're going to be talking with the crew from Dry County, Trey Sinclair and Steve Anderson. We'll be back right after this.
We are Reformation Brewery, celebrating the reformer in you. Locally crafted within the renowned Etowah watershed of Woodstock, Georgia, Reformation creates yeast-forward brews full of aroma and flavor crafted to last. Come see us in beautiful Woodstock, Georgia for a tour and tasting of unique brews that you can't find anywhere else. Reformation Brewery. Set beer free. ReformationBrewery.com.
Follow the Beer Guys on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Yeah, you apparently didn't put one of the new cover sheets on your TPS reports.
Oh, yeah.
Now, back to the Beer Guys Radio Show.
Welcome back to the Beer Guys Radio Show, beerguysradio.com. We're here live at TinyPalooza 3.5 at Lincoln Field Station in Snellville, Georgia, talking now with the guys from Dry County.
Yeah, we had like a crew here of a bunch of beer people around here, but they dispersed, so heck with those guys. Let's talk Dry County, man. Thanks for coming down all the way from Kennesaw, by the way.
Thanks for having us out.
Definitely.
Sure, so not going to miss something like this.
No,
it's great.
Listen, I'm telling you, we've been here this is our third year here. We've been here for all 3 years, and I will say that this is possibly my favorite beer event in the state.
This is quietly possibly the best, well, one of the best beer events. I can't say the best, but one of the very best.
Not only is it a great event, Tiny is such a huge supporter of Georgia beer.
Exactly.
So that's something we definitely...
And he's tiny, which is always key. Which is key, yeah. So again, Trey Sinclair, again from Dry County, and Steve Anderson as well, joining us again. Thanks for stopping by here on Beer Guys Radio. We haven't talked to you guys. Actually, last time we talked to you was... during the Burnt Hickory Fest, I believe, in Kennesaw.
I think there was one time after that, but it's been at least a year.
I had a quick over-the-phone talk with you guys.
Oh, that's right.
Once,
when you
on the way back from a Home Depot.
That's right. So you've been in your position with Dry County for about a year and a half now, right? So,
yeah. It was January 2017. So
excellent.
A couple months.
So Trey, has it been okay with him on staff for you guys?
We'll keep him on board for the time being.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I'm on a short leash, I think.
I was going to say, if you need to cut him loose, now is a great time to do it in front of a very live audience.
That'd be great for ratings, I think.
You're fired. Exactly.
So Steve, in the time that you've worked there, you've had a lot of brewing experience. How has your process and your approach changed, or has it changed? Or are you still kind of doing the same thing the same way?
Definitely a lot of things changed going from a brewery the size of Red Brick to a brewery the size that Dry County was when I started last year. We had to change up a lot of things, working with a lot of different equipment, no filtration, no centrifuge. Much smaller system, but it's been great to get back to the basics and kind of start over and build everything from the ground up almost, and get to experiment with a ton of new beers. Like the upside is we had a 5-barrel brew house, so we were able to brew a lot of very creative small batch beers and really just get off to the races immediately.
So you feel like there are beers that you can brew now that you couldn't brew before, or vice versa?
Absolutely. I mean, when you have to brew a minimum of 100 barrels at a time, it's a lot different than being able to brew a 5-barrel batch size at a time. And now we're in a great position now where we've also brought a 30-barrel brew house online. So we have both a 5 and a 30, so we can brew all of our core distribution beers on the 30-barrel size, and we can brew all of our in-house taproom beers and specialty one-offs, and feed our barrel program with a 5-barrel system. So it's a real good spot to be in.
Yeah, and we keep talking to a lot of these brewers here in Georgia, and again, for folks listening not in the state, that in September 2017, we finally had the privilege of actually being able to buy beer directly from the brewery. A lot of folks have really emphasized that tap room and that tap room experience because of the new laws that we have, and that seems like something you guys are doing as well.
Yeah, for sure. And I think we kind of lucked in and backed into having, like Steve mentioned, a 5-barrel that we can do tasting room only and one-off and seasonal beers on, as well as a 30-barrel production, core beer brewing. We kind of backed into that, and a lot of the bigger breweries now are adding the 5 and the 3 and the 7 type of frame onto it, and the guys who are our size are trying to add the 20, 30, that sort of thing on top. So we lucked into that, but tasting room's been great for us. The law change has been awesome. It's a big part of what we're doing from a creativity standpoint, a business plan, and just cash flowing a brewery in the state of Georgia. So I think everybody is kind of on board and aligned with September 17 was a big month for Georgia craft beer.
It was huge. Yeah. So you've been doing a lot of interesting, I think creativity is a big theme there, because I was looking through your website and some blog posts recently, and I was like, creativity is a theme that keeps coming back. You're looking to push the envelope, so to speak. And one of the things that, some of the stuff is going beyond beer. One of the things is distilling. So where are you at with distilling?
Yeah, I'll touch on that real quick, and then Steve can jump in. But we were fortunate enough to be, we're the first brewery in the state of Georgia to also be licensed as a distillery. Up to this point, everybody's been licensed as a brewery or as a distillery. We're both, that's in no small part thanks to our attorney, Taylor Harper, who
he's the man.
He's been an awesome advocate for craft beer in the state, represents a lot of other breweries in the state. So we are now officially licensed as both. We've done some in-house small distilling batches where we've taken base beers that we've brewed, whether it's Kennesaw Bourbon Ale or Dry County IPA, distilled them down into what I'd call a white whiskey, kind of a moonshine type of process. And Steve can elaborate on that more as we go, but we've done that, and we'll be expanding. You'll be able to see a lot of stuff come in our tasting room later in the year. Start out tasting room only, dial stuff in, nail stuff down, and then get that out on the market. But we're really excited about it, and I think that is a growing market for sure.
So I think you can almost like have your own sustaining barrel program. So you just make barrels with your whiskey and your distilling, age it in your beer, and then bring it back and age some more in your distilling.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the really cool advantages to it is we'll have kind of our own in-house barrel supply, and we're trying to bring forward some cool new ideas on the distilling end. Stuff taken more from the fermentation side. And I think we got some cool experiments coming along, but it's still in the early stages. We're dialing our stuff in, dialing in our equipment, and looking at getting some more pieces of the puzzle going. But
so how soon do you think people might start seeing a little White Dog or something else pouring right there in the tap room?
I'd say we're at least another 3-4 months out before we start really releasing anything. We're taking our time with it. We're in no rush. Honestly, the brewery side of the business is keeping us plenty busy as it is.
I'm sure.
Not like we have a lot of free time to throw at this, but we're working it. We're making sure we come out with a very high quality product out of the gate.
Yeah,
and that's the important
the spirit side is not too dissimilar from the beer side for us in terms of we want to make the top quality product we can and get that out in the market. So. That's how we treat beer. That's how we're going to treat spirits. And 2018, you'll see stuff in the tasting room, kind of larger scale on the spirit side. And it'll probably be a 2019 before you see it out in the market. But definitely come visit us in Kennesaw and check that out and get an update and all of that stuff. So
that sounds great. So I see there's some coffee-related questions, and I know that was you, Brian. So
it definitely was.
Yes.
Yeah. So I was looking through your social media the other night, and kind of creepy stalkery. No, I'm just kidding.
You are kind of creepy.
I can feel you watching me.
Yes.
Exactly.
Well, it's because I am standing outside. Anyway, I saw that you posted, and I really like this quote. Sometimes I am worried that the beer in the tanks is going to find out about my love affair with coffee. Has the beer in the tanks found out about your love affair with coffee yet?
Well, now that you mentioned it on nationally syndicated radio,
you've been outed.
Yeah. No. We dabble in coffee as well. We're both obviously big coffee drinkers. When you're in beer, you have to be, I think. Yeah. But no, we cold brew and roast and do all that with coffee ourselves. We also partner with Thrasher Coffee in the Kennesaw Ackworth area a good bit as well. Try to keep cold brew coffee on tap in the tasting room a good bit. We love caffeine, and we love throwing coffee beans and grounds into our beers as well. So we typically have a coffee influenced or inspired beer on tap in some form or fashion. We've got one right now that's Old 41 is our oatmeal stout with coffee as well as vanilla and cinnamon. On tap in the tasting room, really delicious. But messing with that and working with that. But yeah, I am very afraid that the beer will one day find out about the coffee. So
are you still roasting it yourself, a pound at a time? Is that how that's going? Or
we do. It is a mixture of we do roast a pound at a time ourselves and throw that on tap in occasion. Okay. And then sometimes when there's just too much demand, we pull from Thrasher Coffee.
Okay, I got you.
And we cold brew it ourselves in-house.
So what kind of roast? One more coffee question because I can't help myself.
No, he's a coffee nerd.
What level of roast are you? Are you a light roast, medium roast, or dark roast guy?
We've gone the whole spectrum, but we're typically between a medium and a dark.
Okay.
Somewhere in that range. We've messed with all types of origins and blends. We are typically a single origin, but we have done blends. Thrasher brings in a lot of that stuff and really experimented across the gamut for sure.
Well, that's very cool. And again, that's... Again, you're the biggest coffee nerd I know, Brian, so that's always good stuff. You guys can talk AeroPresses and all that kind of stuff all day long.
Indeed.
Yes, but first I've got a very important announcement, by the way. The Park at Georgetown will be a unique collection of restaurants along with a craft brewery located within the new J.W. Homes luxury development, Dunwoody Green, conveniently located less than a half a mile from 285. This enclave of restaurants will be the gathering place in Dunwoody. Whether meeting old friends or making new ones, the Park at Georgetown will be the place to share a great meal and to build some lasting memories. And why am I saying that? Because if you're looking to buy a brewery or a brew pub, the Park at Georgetown may be your new home. Call Crim & Associates, the developer of the Park at Georgetown, and they want to talk to you. Give Stephen St. Paul a call at 404-256-2960, extension 5. That's Stephen St. Paul, 404-256-2960, extension 5. We're going to take a quick break right now. You'll listen to the Beer Guys Radio Show, beerguysradio.com, and we'll be back with the crew from Dry County live at TinyPalooza right after this.
It's Aaron and Tim, the Beer Guys. If you're like us, no lunch or dinner is complete without a pint or two of craft beer.
Which is why Truck and Tap in downtown Woodstock and Alpharetta are always on our list. Tim, why do they call it Truck and Tap?
Well, the tap part is easy, Aaron. See, they've got 18 of them.
As for the truck part, well, that's when it gets interesting. Truck and Tap features your favorite Atlanta area food trucks daily, so that way you're getting a different menu every day.
Truck and Tap in downtown Woodstock, Alpharetta, and coming soon to Duluth in 2018. Truckandtap.com. Let them know that the Beer Guys sent you.
Follow the Beer Guys on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
What in tarnation?
Now, back to the Beer Guys Radio Show.
Welcome back to the Beer Guys Radio Show. We're at TinyPalooza at Lincoln Fill Station in Snellville, Georgia. We are back with the crew from Dry County. And before we get into any more talk about Dry County beers, I got to say that, Aaron, you hooked us up with some Language of Thunder from, what is this, TrimTab,
This is
right?
from TrimTab in Birmingham. A buddy of mine in Alabama just brought that over for me. And I wanted to crack that open because, again, Tim and Becky Smalls are on assignment trying to figure out how magnets work.
Yes.
I just wanted to open that to spite Tim so we could drink it ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to officially go on record to,
I don't know.
to Becky's work and say, scientists be lying.
That's
Scientists
right.
be lying.
It's all miracles. That's all I'm telling you.
We will pass that along. I'll bet some of what's in here is what makes magnets work.
I think that's probably true.
They are in a wild goose chase.
Excellent. Well, cool. The crew from Olivia, thank you so much. This is awesome. Thank you so much here at TinyPalooza as well. I was kind of sad that they brought you a cigar, didn't bring me one, so they were kind enough to help me out with a.
This is a really nice one, Oliva V. Milanio.
Series V are the ones I usually get from Olivia, so I'm pretty excited about this one. So.
Very nice. It's
very cool.
Really well done one.
I was gonna say you're the cigar guy and you're the coffee guy, so. I just like beer, and I'm good. I
just like all the vices. I just really like everything that's a vice.
There's nothing wrong with that, absolutely. So hey, we're here with Trey Sinclair and Steve Anderson from Dry County Brewing Company. You know, it's funny, we've kind of collected an audience of beer people around here too. So we've got let's see, High Wire is here, Slow Pour is here. Looks like we've got Eagle Rock Distributing is here as well. So they're kind of shadowing us to see if they can get on the air for some free publicity.
Yes,
I think that's what it is. Can we get them one at a time? So so Slow Pour here, kind of been milling around. So I'll give you a couple of seconds on the mic. What are you guys up to here?
What's
at
happening with Slow Pour?
So we just are going through a little bit of growth here recently. So we got some new tanks in, looking at expanding our operations in the back and brewing capabilities, and we're going to be co-branding a beer with the Gwinnett Stripers here coming up.
Excellent.
So to make its debut here, it's going to be called Off-Speed Pitch. So that'll be there in Gwinnett County here very soon.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, cool. Guys, thanks for stopping by, and thanks for being here at TinyPalooza. Like I said, one of our favorite events of the year. So very cool to see you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Definitely. Cheers.
Cheers. It's like Disneyland for beer drinkers.
It really is. And here's the thing. The nice part about TinyPalooza is that it's not hugely busy, but you get a lot of great beers here. I mean, the beer list is phenomenal.
It's always very good.
Yes. And speaking of phenomenal, Ashley is here, by the way, from High Wire as well. Look, we're just going to kind of do the whole gamut of things. So what's going on with all things High Wire, Ashley? Are you good with that? You got to speak in the microphone too.
Okay. So we launched in Atlanta in June, and things have been going really well.
Mm-hmm.
We try to have we have 5 core brands, and we try to have 2 to 3 seasonal and specialties at any given time. But it's been really well received. So
excellent.
I've been enjoying working the market.
Excellent. Well, congratulations. That's awesome. So, good deal. Well, cool. Well, we are going to go ahead and get back to our interview with the Dry County guys, Trey, Sinclair.
Well, real quick, Aaron, if you're cool with it, I chased the rabbit. I caught Michael here.
So this guy. This is the red here.
Get a rabbit.
What's in the world of shandies here?
The world of rattlers.
Exactly.
I want to hear about the shandy wars.
Me
now.
too.
There's no shandy war. We're just bringing some good beer to Atlanta. That's all it is.
Excellent. Yeah, Red Hair, you guys, of course, based in Marietta. You guys have got some great beers, working really hard. Tell us what's new with you all.
Right now, we're actually launching Tangerine SPF 50/50. So SPF 50/50 is a grapefruit rattler. We call it an India Pale Rattler. Traditionally, rattlers are done with like a lager or pilsner cut with some lemonade, maybe some juice, whatever.
Sure.
Everybody loves IPAs. 40% of craft beers sold in 2017 were IPAs. So we've taken our Gangway IPA, or American-based IPA, American-style IPA, cut it with some grapefruit soda. Everybody loves it. So since everybody loves it, why not just do some more of it? So we're actually doing some Tangerine, and literally the only things people have ever said bad about the grapefruit rattler is they don't like grapefruits or they can't have it because of their medication. And so coming on in, it actually has a nice kind of sweet flavor to it, a little bit of rind. It literally smells like one of those halos of cuties.
It does,
right,
exactly. Yeah,
Very nice.
Awesome. Well, cool. Well, thanks. We got a quick Georgia beer wrap up. And it's good to see a lot of things going on in Georgia beer and across the region as well. So very cool. Well, thank you guys for taking some time out for your competition.
Thanks for having us on, too.
It gave us a second to drink.
So.
That's good.
I
we got to
say,
do that.
This Tears of My Enemies is pretty delicious. It's bourbon barrel version.
Yeah, Tears of My Enemies from Monday night, of course. The bourbon barrel version and the Scotch barrel version.
Just wait till you try the Scotch. I am preferential to the Scotch.
This is going to happen here in like 2 minutes.
I was just going to say, the Scotch was the bronze medal winner at GABF last year, and it's good times.
Before I forget about it, I just wanted to give you kudos for your green beer on St. Patty's Day, the matcha,
the matcha Pilsner. Yeah, it turned out really well.
I thought that was brilliant, and it was actually very, very drinkable, which shouldn't be a surprise, but that's a pretty big green tea flavor, and it can be difficult.
It came out really, really well, and we wanted to do a green beer. We obviously didn't want to just dye a beer green.
Exactly.
That's not how we roll over there. So we wanted to have something that was going to contribute some good flavor as well as some green color. And the matcha paired really well with the Hallertau Blanc hops that were in the Pilsner.
Oh, yeah.
So, it was a good match.
Of a winey, grapey type of hop.
Yeah. A lot of cool fruity notes from the matcha tea as well as the herbal tea character. So it was a good match.
And that's good because, a lot of times I knock on Tim because Tim likes the green beer. I don't do
If you like it, you like it. Nothing wrong with
I
that,
guess that's right. But I'm a snob like that.
It's not our style to just dye a beer green.
Another way of not cheating, but sort of cheating, is if you get a Berliner and put the Waldmeister syrup in it, because that's legit an old cheese. So you can do that, and it does come out green. So that's another idea.
Roots in beer history too.
So before we continue with you guys too, we got another Tour de Georgia beer apparently here too.
The other half of the Rattler Wars.
Exactly. Jekyll is here. What's going on with you guys at Jekyll?
Man, Eric with Jekyll Brewing.
Absolutely. So what's new with the Jekyll? What's going on?
We got some new stuff coming out. Hop Shandiggity.
Yep.
Also a Pony Ride Pale Ale, which is really good. So really excited to fight up against some of that red hair.
There you go. It's all friendly competition though.
Pull no punches.
It is all friendly competition. Man.
Exactly.
We're all here to just make great beers for everybody. So.
And here, tell me real quick about TinyPalooza. I know you've been here a few more times. This is such a great thing. Tell us from your side of the
it's just such
industry.
a great event to come out and get the community involved, especially the craft beer community, which is really awesome, and let us bring some really fancy stuff out here.
Yep.
There's some great beers out here, and like I said, man, we just come out here, have a good time, and we all love beer, so here to support, right?
Excellent. I appreciate that, man. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you. Absolutely. Well, we talk about raising awareness a lot,
yes.
And it's kind of in the news, and everyone wants to raise awareness. But in the case for Dry County, your Fragile X Brew Fest, had me hitting Google. I had Brian hitting Google because you do the gangle, you do the calendar, not me.
Yes.
So how did you guys get involved in the National Fragile X Foundation?
Yeah, so Fragile X is it's really an example of Jenna Weber runs our tasting room. She does an awesome job. We book a lot of private events and semi-private events. The Fragile X Foundation came on board, wanted to do a private event this weekend, and they've kind of set it up themselves as a brew fest. It has nothing to do with Dry County, to be honest. It's just them kind of taking the reins and running with it and doing their thing. But it's a great foundation that raises awareness and all that. And it's really big in the Kennesaw area, and they're going to have a big event going on tonight. So if you are around the brewery, want to drop by 7 to 10, I believe, are the hours they're advertising. Drop in, hang out, drink some beer, and raise awareness for a great cause.
Now, is that something you guys do on the regular? Is rent out or donate your space for different causes and folks around the area?
Yeah, for sure. We try to do it for nonprofits and events like that. Every once in a while, it's rented out for birthday parties or whatever it may be. But
Sure.
But we definitely try to get as many nonprofits and great foundations and causes out there as possible. We want to be as big a part as the Kennesaw community as we can be. And this is one example of many of people that are using us and leveraging us to do that. So,
note to self: my birthday party needs to be at a brewery.
Yeah,
I think that's how it works.
That's a really good idea.
I think you know a couple.
I know a couple of guys that might be able to hook us up. Exactly.
I actually had a birthday party at a distillery. I thought it was pretty neat.
I wouldn't remember it if I had one of those.
Yeah, it's a little foggy.
Exactly.
I was going to get back. One of the questions I was going to ask you about the spirits.
Look, it's getting crazy. Look, Tiny's here. He's just bringing brewers back.
This is what you get for doing a show at a beer fest.
We've already talked to these guys at Slow Pour, so we'll get them
but you
later.
got to let this guy. This guy's different. You got to let him on the mic.
Do we have to?
No, do we have to? Exactly.
No, you don't. It's your show.
Well, hey, listen. Actually, you know what? Because of that, we have to take a break.
Oh, okay. I'll get to that. I'll get to my question.
I was going to say, we'll wrap up with the crew from Dry County here in just 1 second. You'll listen to the Beer Guys Radio Show, beerguysradio.com. We'll be back right after this. Craft beer forged with a reverence for tradition and new styles that start a revolution. Ironmonger Brewing. The brewers at Ironmonger Brewing pride themselves at being masters of barrel-aged, hoppy, and sour beers. They invite you to their taproom in Marietta to taste and see. Also, visit their barrel room with an intimate drinking experience with great live entertainment. Keep up to date on all things Ironmonger by liking them on Facebook. Ironmonger Brewing, establishing a new standard in craft beer.
Welcome back to the Beer Guys Radio Show. We are still at TinyPalooza at Lincoln Field Station in Snellville, Georgia. We are talking with the guys from Dry County. All right, guys, we have a couple more questions for you.
We do. We'll get out of here, though.
Yes, we do. We got to get you on your way because you're busy men. One of the things I wanted to ask you about really quick, because I know you have a few other things you want to talk about, beer cocktails. Since you're distilling spirits, are you going to be making beer cocktails?
That's a pretty good question. I think the answer is definitely a yes on there.
Good.
We're going to be doing trying to do some innovative cocktails in the brewery where we have basically ready-made cocktails on draft.
There you go.
So we're going to be making some in-house ginger beers and things like that, blending them with some of our spirits and having them available on tap just like the beer.
There you go. I think you can be a consultant for that, Brian, because you've got a pretty good a good taste for that, so that should be key. So
is there anything else in the works with Dry County or anything that we missed that you guys would like to talk about?
Yeah, I guess I can lead off.
Sure.
We do a rotating line of IPAs throughout the year. Dank County, Double County, Juice County. Double County just won Secret Stash Bash Fest.
Congratulations there.
Taco Mac puts on, right? So we're brewing a couple more batches of that. That'll be going now through the end of April, beginning of May. And then Juice County, probably our most popular beer, will be following after that, and it'll lead May probably through August, September time frame, up through football season starting up. So definitely keep an eye out for a rotating IPA line on draft around town, and then potentially in can at the brewery and the tasting room. So keep an eye out on social media for that for sure. And then, I don't know, Steve, you got anything else you want to add?
We got a couple of new tasting room releases coming up too. We actually just dropped a beer called Malt Lana. It's an English-style barley wine brewed with 100% floor-malted Maris Otter malt. That's something we did, a very long 4-hour boil on. Got a lot of cool caramelization, malleable reactions, and a lot of big flavor in a beer that's just a base malt. And that's something we're drinking right now at the brewery, and it's very exciting to us. And then
those English-style barley wines are just great because they got that toffee flavor and those toffee notes. They're great. Again, you're a cigar guy. They're great with the cigar.
I held on to a bottle of Darn It All. Let's say it for the radio there.
Darn It All.
Yeah, Darn It All.
Darn It All.
And it's I don't think it was even that old, but it seriously improved a lot just sitting for a short period of time.
Those barley wines, they go a long way aging, and I'm a big fan of brewing barley wines. That's one of my favorite styles to brew. Barley wines, pilsners. I love brewing beers like that. But another cool beer we have going on is a beer we're calling You Had Me at Merlot. And it's actually a half kettle soured beer brewed with 20% of the fermentables are from Merlot must.
Nice.
So that one's still in the tank right now, but we'll be packaging that in the next couple of weeks. That's what I'm really excited about. And honestly, I hope we have some left. We've been drinking so much off the sample pour.
That's always a problem. Yes, our yield is like 1/3 of a barrel. I can't understand how that happened.
I don't understand how that happened.
That's a lot of angel share.
Shocking. Cool. And website, social media?
Yeah, website, social media. It's all drycountybrewco.com and Dry County Brewco at Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, whatever it may be. So, yeah, definitely check us out. Follow us. Stay up to date. That is how we keep our information flowing.
Sounds like a plan. Great. Steve, Trey, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having us on. Y'all have a great one.
Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. So now that we've gotten rid of those guys from Dry County, we've got a couple of pros on the air right now. Maybe not. It's Owen Ogletree, Chase Medlin from Slow Pour, of course. Owen from Brewtopia. Owen, let's go ahead and get you started too. You do some things with cask ales, I've heard.
Yeah,
it's something that's important. That's right. Tell us what's coming up in Athens here in a few weeks.
Well, we're changing up the Classic City Brew Fest this year to be more cask ale focused, kind of like the Atlanta cask ale tasting, and we're going to have 55 cask ales there. And all the local Athens breweries will have a draft booth and some special treat bottle share tables. So it's in a new location. We're going to do it at the Cotton Press, which is an old cotton gin facility outside, just a little bit outside of town, about a half a mile outside of town.
Okay.
So I think it's going to be really fun. It's going to be a very different event and new and improved, and so I hope everybody comes out on April 15th.
Yeah, and I tell you what, Classic City is always one of my favorite brew fests here in the state of Georgia. It's definitely worth coming out for and checking out.
Yes, even in the state of Georgia, too.
Oh, the
city and the state of Georgia.
Did I say city of Georgia? That's
it's my favorite
again,
of both.
This is the fourth segment, and nothing just is undone in the fourth segment. So
I did see that it got really high marks. It got one of the top 20 U.S. beer festivals for beer geeks.
Yeah,
I will attest to that.
Yeah, we were really happy. We ended up like number 11 out of 20.
There you go.
That's really impressive. That's up there with like Hanapu Day and Dark Lord and all that other stuff.
10,000 times.
Yeah. Tiny voted 10,000 times.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
Now I get it.
That's how it works. So stuff in the ballot.
So the cask focus is a change. So what was the idea behind that? Is it just the cask is the most important, is the most popular part, or you just really want to focus on that?
It was always the most. I had people every year say, we came and it's so much fun, but we never left the cask tent because it was so amazing. And we had room after room of bottled beers that you could get at a package store downtown, and there was really no reason to spend all that money on that space to have all those bottled beers. So, and we needed 200 volunteers to pour all those things. So we're going to focus on the cask, which is what everyone found to be the most popular, important part of the festival.
And breweries kind of pull out the stops for their casks as well. It's a small batch, so they're kind of able to do some crazy stuff with their beers.
It's 10 gallons of beer where you can do something special. So most of these casks that we have, you can't get anywhere else in the whole world except for Classic City Brew Fest.
Nice.
So it's going to be fun. Yeah.
Definitely. That sounds like a plan.
And we need half the space, half the tickets. It's going to be more intimate and small and enjoyable, and I think it's going to be really very nice.
Excellent. Well, cool. Owen, we're looking forward to being there in a few weeks. We'll be broadcasting.
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it should be a good time. So, again, thank you so much. Brewtopia.com. If folks want tickets, how would they get them?
They go to brewtopia.info.
There you go.
Or brewfest.net.
Okay.
And they can grab them while they can. We have about 200 tickets left. So
awesome. Hopefully they'll go soon and come see us. Yeah, we'll be broadcasting.
Yeah.
There. Cool. Cheers, Owen.
Thanks
Thank you so
much.
Absolutely. So Tiny is here. Chase is here. Again, Tiny, once again, congratulations. This is their third TinyPalooza, correct?
3.5.
3.5.
Yeah.
And we've been here for 3 of them.
Yes.
We missed the 0.5.
Yeah, somehow we missed that 0.5.
Yeah, but that wasn't a very big deal.
Okay, well, then there you go.
0.5 is a really small amount.
It's really not important. So
I'm going to call it.
Our 4th anniversary will be July 4th.
Okay.
And we decided to make it a half because to have this festival on July it would be really hot.
It'd be about 40 degrees warmer and
for
just
sure,
not
for
pretty.
sure.
So
People would be passing out.
So if it's only about 4 months off, wouldn't that actually make this 3.75?
Yes, it would, but it costs extra to put it on the T-shirt. So.
Oh, yes, that extra number. I like the way you think.
See, there you
very
go.
Practical.
That's very accounting of you. I appreciate that. So well, cool. Hey, listen, I mean, you've been here.
Actually, this is your anniversary, too.
It is, actually.
So this is your third year in a row.
That's true.
You've been here. And your first live broadcast, correct?
That's right. Our first live broadcast was here.
That's
and,
right.
So it's a little bit of history here at the TinyPaloozas, as they say. And speaking of, Tiny, you guys have been here for several years here in the Snellville area, Gwinnett County. Over that time, we've really kind of seen the craft beer scene grow nicely in our area.
It really has. I mean, we've been blessed, if that's the right word, where we've brought craft beer outside of Atlanta and outside of Athens.
Yes.
To an area that's been starved for craft beer. And there's been very little to go on here. It's gone well. It's gone really well.
For folks who don't know and who are listening here who are not in Georgia, Snellville, Lawrenceville is kind of a traditional, let's call it traditional.
Yeah, kind of a... Yeah, traditional is a really nice way of putting it.
Good way of putting it.
Yes.
Yeah.
PC.
Very set in its ways.
Yes.
And those
very
ways.
much set in the ways. Bible Belt. I mean, we're in the Bible Belt.
Absolutely.
Yeah, indeed.
But really, I mean, the city and the county has kind of really embraced you. I get my local Snellville little flyer all the time, and you guys are doing some stuff with the city and things like that. Which is great.
The city of Snellville has been really, really good to us. I mean, we took over an eyesore of a building and made something of it, I'd like to say. And they have been very, very, very much appreciative and helpful and help us pass laws and help us do that to get to the point where we are now.
Yeah.
So you can come here on a Wednesday night and see a good part of the city council. It's really nice.
Yeah. And it's great because, I mean, you guys are starting to grow. Do you have any expansion plans over the next year as well for this region?
Well, we've expanded our deck to the point where now we can legitimately say we are the largest outdoor patio in Gwinnett County.
Nice.
That and nickel will get you a cup of coffee.
Well, that's true, but
still, it's our claim of fame.
Well, thanks for stopping by and talking to us, Tiny, and thanks for letting us do what we do at your place.
It's
always
get ready for 4.5. Get ready for
4.5.
All right,
we are there.
The plans for 4.5 have already started. Chase is working on it, so
that's
for
good.
A few beers from him. So
and we'll get some information.
Him on the spot now, but because he's sitting in front of us,
we'll keep feeding him beer, and we'll divulge all of his secrets.
Sounds good.
I think that's
all the secrets. There's no secrets here. No secrets.
No, exactly. That's why I mute mics, because people just kind of randomly come in and talk on the air. That's why I don't do that. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up this show for this week. I know. See, look, he missed it, and he just sat down too late. Sorry about that. Coming up next week, though, we are going to be smack dab in festival season, talking at Monday Night Garage, Day of the Juice.
Yes.
It's going to be there. I'm pretty stoked about that one.
That's one of the, I think it's one that everybody's looking forward to a lot. Everybody's going. Everybody's going to be there. It's going to be nuts.
If you like IPAs, that's what it's going to be. So Tim will have to stay home again.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Anyway, again, thanks for joining us. Check us out, beerguysradio.com and on the socials. And don't forget to drink local. We'll talk to you next week. Cheers.